presentation mode. And put our call in recording. This conference is being recorded. Good evening and welcome everyone to Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call. It is Monday, February 18, 2013, and we are grateful for you taking time out to dial into this call. Mr. Brown appreciates your presence and your consistent support of this call every single Monday. Today he is busy inspiring more voices of hope all the way in Canada, and he sends his love and regards to each and every one of you, and he'll be back on next week. But anytime Mr. Brown is not able to be on the call live, he sends only the best to represent him and show you what's possible in your own life. So tonight, I have such a treat for you. My name is Stacey N.C. Grant, and I will be your host. I'm an empowerment specialist and one of Les Brown's platinum speakers. But tonight, I get to introduce you to someone that I refer to as my brother from another mother. You are in for such a treat to hear from one of the experts in this field. Andy Henriquez is someone who started from beginnings that he's very proud of, Haitian immigrants who came to this country in the pursuit of the American dream. And he learned firsthand what sacrifice, hard work, and discipline and commitment were. He attended Florida State University, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in accounting, graduating summa cum laude and his master's degree in corporate accounting. He became a licensed CPA and gained significant career experience in corporate America, working for the largest professional firm in the world, PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP. And after working for several years in corporate America, Andy's entrepreneurial spirit led him to real estate investing under the mentorship of a real estate millionaire in pursuit of financial independence and control of his destiny. Through his passion and commitment, Andy has established himself as a successful real estate investor and coach. Today, Andy utilizes his same philosophy of success to transform audiences and assist them on reaching higher levels of achievement. He's a gifted communicator. He has shared the stage with world-renowned motivational speakers and best-selling authors, coaches, particularly our very own Les Brown, Omar Puriu, Suzanne, Roanne, John D. Lim, and I can go on and on, Lisa Nichols, and the list goes on, and Stacey N.C. Grant. And a powerful Les Brown platinum speaker and coach, he has the ability to relate and inspire audiences from all walks of life. He specializes in strategic storytelling and has created a comprehensive coaching program to transform anyone's story. If you've heard him, if you've listened to him, if you've interacted with him, you know the power that he brings and the work ethic of excellence in every single thing he does. So get your papers out, get your pens ready, and prepare to be blown away by none other than my friend, platinum speaking brother, Mr. Andy Henriquez. Andy, are you on the line tonight?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Stacey N.C. Grant, a.k.a. Coco, a.k.a. TheBomb.com. So I just want to say thank you so much, Stacey. And for all of the listeners, welcome to the Monday Night Motivational Call. I spoke to Les earlier today. He is out in Canada, and he sends his regards, like Stacey mentioned, and he's so happy that all of you continue to maintain the commitment, that all of you are seriously serious about your personal growth, that all of you understand that what goes in is what comes out. And so it's so important that you continue to position yourself on these Monday night calls, listening in to Les Brown and some of his platinum speakers as they come in to inspire you and motivate you. So first, I want to acknowledge you and thank you for taking the time out on your Monday, where the rest of the world right now is possibly sitting down in front of the television, watching their favorite reality show, where there's somebody right now who's sitting down and engaging in some secondary mindless activity. But no, not you. You chose to call on the Monday Night Motivational Call. And because of that, that's going to make the difference. Because of that, 2013 is, in fact, going to be your year, regardless of what it's been to start like. And so here's what I want to talk to you about tonight. I want to talk to you about letting go. And so oftentimes when we think about letting go, oftentimes we think of letting go as a weakness. But here's what I've discovered, that sometimes it takes a little more strength to hold on. And sometimes it takes a little more strength to actually let go than it does to hold on. And so I want you to look at your life right now, and I want you to think about your goals and your dreams and the things that you're looking to pursue. And I want you to think about right now, what is it that you're holding on to that's keeping you away from your ideal health? What is it that you're holding on to right now that's keeping you away from a healthy relationship? What is it that you're holding on to that you know in your heart that you need to let go? So what relationship, what toxic relationship that you know that you need to let go of and remove yourself from? What past disappointments and failures you know that you need to let go of? What is it that you're holding on to that you know in your heart that you need to let go of? Why? Because it's no longer serving you. Why? Because you know you won't have happiness and fulfillment. Why? Because you know it's the only way that you're going to accomplish your goals and your dreams if you finally decide to let go of that toxic relationship. If you finally decide to let go of that past disappointment, that past failure, if you finally decide to let go of that excuse, if you finally decide to let go of that thing that you know that's been holding you back, that person that you know that's been holding you back. And so what I know is sometimes it's hard. It's hard to let go. Even when you know that you need to. And so I think about, because a couple years back, I used to have this beautiful German Shepherd. She was golden colored brown and extremely athletic and such a smart dog and ultra obedient. I mean, one of those dogs, you told her to sit, she would sit there. Now there's just one time where she would get a little out of control. If you were walking her and she saw a squirrel or she saw a cat, I mean, all the obedience, all the intelligence went out the window. But other than that, that was my baby. And so most of you out there, if you know about owning a pet, or even if you don't own a pet, but you know someone who owns a pet, you know that for a lot of pet owners, it's almost like having a child. So in other words, when we leave town, then we have to find someone who's going to feed the dog, who's going to walk the dog, who's going to ensure that the dog is okay. And so I remember a couple of years ago, I had to go out of town. I was speaking out in Las Vegas. And so I called up a friend and I said, hey, listen, I got to go out of town and I'm going to be catching a flight. I'm going to be gone for the entire weekend and I need you to do me a favor. My dog's name was Jasmine. I said, I need you to, on a daily basis, I need you to go over. I've left some food and a bowl with some water, and I need you to make sure that, number one, that Jasmine has some food and that she has some water. And also, because she's a big dog, I can't have her in the house all day long. I need you to walk her at least twice a day. I need you to let her out. Just let her run around in the backyard and let her walk around the neighborhood because, she's a big dog and she just cannot be locked up in the house all weekend. And so my friend said, fine, no problem, Andy, I'll do that. And so I remember going away and being in Las Vegas and I remember periodically calling in to just check and remind my friend, hey, did you remember to feed Jasmine and give Jasmine water and take her for a walk? She said, yeah, no problem. I took care of that yesterday and I'm going to make sure I do it again tomorrow. And so the next day I went through a very long day. I was doing some training and helping facilitate a seminar. And I remember it was about 5:30 my time in Las Vegas and maybe it was about, maybe about 2:30 in Florida. And so I called up my friend. I said, hey, listen, I'm in between sessions where we're going to make it a late night tonight, but I just want to make sure everything's okay. Did you take Jasmine for a walk and did you make sure that she has water and food? And my friend said, oh, Andy. I said, what? She said, you'll never believe what happened. I said, wait a second. What do you mean what happened? Is Jasmine okay? I mean, is she okay? I mean, she didn't run on the street or anything. She said, no. Jasmine's okay, but I'm not. I said, well, what do you mean you're not okay? What happened? And so what she said, well, I went over there like I did yesterday, and I went to go get Jasmine, and I made sure she had some water, and she had food, and she had plenty of water and food, and so I grabbed her leash, and I put her on the leash, and we started off, and we went for a walk, and I normally walk her about 3 blocks. We got to about the second block, and everything was perfectly fine, and then we saw a squirrel. And all of a sudden, she said, Jasmine just stopped and paused, and then she said, Jasmine just locked in on the squirrel. And she kept telling Jasmine, come on, Jasmine, let's go. And she knew that the way Jasmine was looking at that squirrel, at any moment that Jasmine was going to sprint after that squirrel. And just as she feared, Jasmine, out of nowhere, all 87 pounds of her, all athletic build of her, with all her strength, Jasmine bolted after the squirrel. And my friend said she was holding on to the leash, and as she was holding on, she was trying to pull Jasmine back, but Jasmine was too strong. And as Jasmine just kept pushing forward to go after the squirrel, she said, I fell down, Andy, and after I fell down, I kept holding on to the leash, and she dragged me a couple of feet, and I scabbed up all my arms and my elbows, and my foot got caught in the corner, and I sprained my ankle, and I had to go to the hospital. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I said, are you okay? She said, yeah, I'm okay. I sprained my ankle, and I scabbed up my elbows and my forearms and my knees, and I peeled off the first layer of skin. They gave me some ointments, and I've got a brace for my ankle. And I said, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. And I remember getting back in town, and when I finally saw my friend, I remember looking and seeing her scabs. I mean, they were bright pink, and I mean, it looked rough, and I just was thinking about how painful it must have been. I was thinking about how she went through the stress and is going through the stress now of everyone asking her what's going on top of the pain and the visible scars and the visible wounds, and so I remember now that I know she had gotten past the incident, and finally I just asked her, I said, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, I've got to ask you this. I said, well, when you were holding on to the leash and you saw that Jasmine had honed into the squirrel, and you finally saw that Jasmine was running after the squirrel, and she was pulling you in the opposite direction of where you wanted to go. And when she was dragging you across the ground, and you were losing the skin on your elbows and losing the skin on your forearms, why didn't you let go? She said, I don't know, Andy. For some reason, I just couldn't let go. And so that reminded me of an old proverb. And the old proverb says that you've got to let go or be dragged. And so here's what I know. That many of us, that we'll go through life and we'll find ourselves in a toxic relationship. And we just continue to hold on, and we don't want to let go. And because we don't want to let go, we find ourselves being hurt. Because we don't want to let go, we find ourselves being degraded. Because of the fact that we don't want to let go, we find ourselves being unhappy, or we're one of those individuals that we're working this business, and then maybe this is a business that now the times have changed, that the things are obsolete, that the things that worked for us yesterday are no longer working today. And so we keep holding on, and we don't want to let go because we say we've invested too much money, that we don't want to let go of the old things that we used to do in the past, the old ways of operating and running the business. We don't want to let go because that's what worked for us 5 years ago. Even though we know it's no longer working for us right now, we don't want to let go. Or maybe there's those old habits that are also hard to let go. They said that bad habits are like a warm, comfortable bed, easy to get into, but also hard to get out of, that we don't want to let go. Or there's some excuses that we know that we need to let go of because they're keeping us away from our goals and our dreams. And then we know in our hearts that we need to let go, but we don't want to let go. Here's what I want to remind you tonight. You got to let go or be dragged. And you've got to let go of that toxic relationship. You've got to let go of those excuses. You've got to let go of that negative self-talk, that you've got to let go of those old ways of doing things, that you've got to let go of that individual that you know is not seriously serious about the business, that you've got to let go of that business partner that you know is not carrying their weight, that you've got to let go of this thing that you know in your heart that is no longer serving you. Because it's the only way you're going to be able to go towards your goals and your dreams. Yeah, it's the only way that you're finally going to have any level of happiness. It's the only way that you're not going to lose your sanity. I think about just last week, I called up a particular gentleman that he's been a handyman that has worked for me for quite some time. As some of you may or not know, I own quite a few rental properties, and I used to invest quite a bit in real estate, and I still do till this day. And there's a gentleman that back in 2004, he actually helped me in repairing one of my very first rental properties, one of the very first deals that I ever bought, fixed, and repaired. And this is a gentleman that I've used him for years. He's helped me completely remodel homes, and not only have I used him over the years, but I've referred him to countless individuals that have helped him be able to maintain a level of income, to be able to pay his mortgage and provide for his family. And it's been quite some time since I've needed him. And it was just 2 weeks ago, I gave him a call because I have one of my rental properties that the tenant was calling me and telling me that there was an issue. And so I know that this guy, I've been using him now for quite some time, since 2004. And I know that over the years, I've spent so much money with him. And I know that I've referred so many people to him. I knew that I can count on him. And so I called him up. I said, hey, Ronnie, hey, man, it's Andy. Listen, you know that rental property that you helped me repair many years ago? I've got an issue, man. I need you to go over there and take care of it. He said, no problem, no problem. I said, Ronnie, can I get you to take care of it over the weekend? He said, yes, no problem, perfect. Ronnie, do you need me to remind you? No problem, I got it. I'll take care of it. And so as I waited, the weekend went by. And I called my tenant. I said, hey, listen, is everything okay? Did Ronnie come by and take care of it? She said, Ronnie, no. No, Ronnie never came by the house. I said, are you kidding me? Ronnie didn't show up? No, he didn't. So the issue's still there? Yes, he never came by. And so I was a little frustrated, and I picked up the phone and I called Ronnie again. I said, hey, Ronnie. I said, what happened, man? You told me you were going to take care of it this weekend. He said, oh, man, I got so busy. I got caught up. I'm going to take care of it. When do you need it done by? I said, Ronnie, listen, man, I have an inspection coming up. I need you to make sure you take care of it by Tuesday. Can I count on you, Ronnie? Yes, man, you can count on me. Ronnie, you're not going to let me down again, are you? No. I got it, man. I'm going to take care of it. Do you need me to remind you? No. No, you don't need to remind me. I've got this. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to make sure I do it. As a matter of fact, I'll call you when I'm done. And Tuesday, I waited. It's about 8 p.m. at night. Still, no call from Ronnie. And now it's getting a little later on in the evening. And so I'm certain, because Ronnie reassured me that he's going to take care of it. I know that he did it. And so the following day, I called my tenant up. I said, hey, Ronnie took care of everything, right? She said, no, Ronnie didn't show up again, Mr. Andy. I thought you said he was coming. This is 2 times. You said he was coming. He didn't show up. Wait a second. He didn't show up? No, he didn't show up. And so I picked up the phone and I called Ronnie 2-3 times, no answer. And I called up a mutual friend who has been using Ronnie for as long as I have. He's been using Ronnie since back in 2004. And I gave him a call. I said, man, I'm so upset. He said, why are you so upset, Andy? I said, Ronnie, man, this guy left me hanging. I called him up and I told him to go and do this repair at this rental property. And you think about how much money I've paid Ronnie over the years. Think about how many referrals I've given this guy. How many times I've referred people to him where he's made money. There's been times where Ronnie was down and out, and I didn't even need him for anything, and I told him to meet me somewhere, and I gave him money. Can you believe what this guy did to me? He said, Andy, you're really upset, aren't you? I said, yes, I'm upset. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, has Ronnie worked for you in the past? I said, yes, many a time. He said, have you made a lot of money using Ronnie? I said, yes. He said, have you saved a lot of money, Andy? You saved a lot of money using Ronnie, yes or no? I said, yes. He said, did you call Ronnie and ask him to come and take care of this property from you? And did he not let you down? I said, yes, he did. He said, when you called him up the second time and you told him how important it was, you told him that you have an appointment, you told him you had an inspection, you told him you needed him there, did he not show up again? I said, no, he didn't. So, it was pretty obvious, Andy, that this has nothing to do with Ronnie, that Ronnie worked for you in the past, that you've made some more money with Ronnie in the past, but obviously Ronnie is not working for you now, so it's time to let go. I said, but come on, man. What do you mean let go? I said, but hold on a second, man. This is Ronnie. You know how much money I've given this guy? And do you know how many people I've referred him to? I mean, the least he could have done was gave me a phone call and told me, hey, Andy, listen, I'm too busy. I can't make it. He said, Andy, you're right. But he didn't show up. And he didn't do what he said he was going to do. And I remember hearing this long time ago, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time. And so right now, man, it's time to let go. And so here's what I said to you. Maybe right now you've got a Ronnie in your life. And there's somebody that they've been in your life, and maybe at one point that relationship, that business relationship was working. At one point they were excited about the business opportunity. At one point they were excited in contributing as a partner, but now they've become negative. Now they've become toxic. Now they no longer are doing stuff. Now it seems like they've died to the business opportunity. And here's what I know: it's easier to give birth to a new business partner. It's easier to give birth to somebody who's really serious about the opportunity than trying to resurrect the dead. That maybe right now that you've been in a toxic relationship, it's an abusive relationship, and this person doesn't value you. And I'm talking about those of you who haven't made the ultimate vow, not those of you who are in a marriage, but no, your boyfriend and girlfriend, someone who's abusing you, somebody that you know that this relationship is obviously not going anywhere, but you keep holding on because you're saying maybe I can change them, and maybe you don't realize that it's a hard time trying to change somebody else. Why? Because it's a full-time job changing yourself, and that it's very unlikely that you're going to change this individual, and that now is the time that you need to let go, or maybe you're holding on to this old habit, this thing that you know that is no longer serving you, that it's causing you to stay overweight, it's causing your health to deteriorate, it's causing you from taking your business to the next level, it's causing you from accomplishing your goals and your dreams. And now it's time to let go. And yeah, I know it's hard. Yeah, I was frustrated. I didn't want to let go. I thought about all the money that I spent with Ronnie. I thought about all the referrals that I sent him. But here's what I know. They say that people come in your life sometimes for a reason. There's a specific purpose. They've been put in your life to help you grow. They've been put in your life to help you through a situation. They've been put in your life to help you, or maybe perhaps they've been put in your life to teach you patience. They've been put in your life for a specific reason. And sometimes someone is put into your life for a season. There's a season in your life because they're going to help you build a business. They're going to help you save the money. They're going to help you to expand a skill set. They're going to help you to learn how to become patient. They're going to help you to learn how to become unselfish, that they're in your life for this season and time. But yet and still, there's just a few, very few individuals that are going to come into your life for a lifetime. And because we know that, it means is that we got to be ready at times to let go. Yeah, we've got to let go and be dragged. That's right. I want you to look at your life right now. I want you to think about, who is it? Or what is it that you need to let go of? Because it's keeping you away from your goals and your dreams. He or she is keeping you away from doing that thing that you know that you need to do. because it's pulling you, it's dragging you, or she's pulling you, and he's pulling you and dragging you in the other direction of your dreams, of your goals, of the things that you're looking to accomplish. And so I think about how I was in college, and I remember my college roommate. We were roommates for about 4 years, and I remember we got so excited one time. His father was coming in to visit us, and his father was going to stay with us at the apartment. And we were excited, and I just wanted to meet his father because his father was a medical doctor. As a matter of fact, he worked in the ER room, and this guy was brilliant. He went to the Harry Medical College and graduated top of his class and was extremely successful. And so I just wanted to be in the presence of somebody who was successful like that. And I remember his father came in, and I would just watch him and observe him. I remember he'd wake up early in the morning, and he would grab a cup of coffee, and he would sit down, and he was an educated man. He'd sit down, and he would start reading the newspaper, and then he'd pull out these magazines and these printouts, and he would grab his highlighter and a pen, and he'd be doing this research. And I remember finally asking him, I said, Mr. Todd, I said, well, what are you doing, sir? Well, first I read the newspaper, and I'm looking at the business section. He says that even though I'm a medical doctor, it's important that you invest, young man, that you've got to invest in your future. So I'm looking at stocks that I can purchase and buy. And he said that maybe one day when you and James have enough money, you guys can invest in stock. Here's a stock that I've been following right here. This company, it was founded at this time. It has to do with telecommunications, and I'm going to buy this many shares. And maybe one day when you and James have some money, that you guys can invest in some stock too. I said, well, wait a second, Mr. Todd. I said, I've got a scholarship, sir, and I've applied for some extra scholarships. And because I've applied for those extra scholarships, unlike many college students that are completely broke, I actually have a couple of $1,000, and I want to invest too. And he said, well, I can't tell you to invest your money, but here's a company I've been researching. Here's the paperwork if you want to read it yourself. And if you want to invest, I can show you how you can set up an online account with Ameritrade, and you can open up this account, and here's the stock ID, and you can read this stuff, and if you want, you can buy a couple shares. And I remember going online and going to the library and waiting in line and setting up my account and taking the research, and I was excited, and I had a couple of $1,000, and at that time, I didn't know any better. I just decided to take a big risk, and I took $3,000, which was about 80% of everything that I had. And $3,000 is a lot of money for a college student. And I invested it all in one company. And I remember I was so excited, and my roommate, he did the same. The money he had, he put in this company, and we were excited. We were like, man, we're going to get rich. I said, we're still in college, man. Other people haven't done this. We bought stocks in the company, man. This is awesome. And I remember we were obsessed. We would look every day, and we saw that the company went up by a couple of cents, and it went up almost by $1, and we were excited. And then all of a sudden, now we're about a couple of weeks in, and things started to go the other way. All of a sudden, now the company started to go down. The stock was trading for less money. But we were still okay. It was still trading for more than what we bought it. Then it went down. It went down by about 10%. And we were like, oh man, it's okay, man. It's gonna bounce back. And then it went down by about 15%. We said, no, man, but I'm not gonna let go. I'm not gonna sell the stock now. It's gonna bounce back. And then it went down by about 20-something%, and we said, oh no, come on, man, we're not gonna let go. No, man, this thing is gonna bounce back. And then it went down by 30-something%. We said, no, we're not gonna let go, man. This thing is going to bounce back. We know it is. And then it was down by about 50%, and we said, no, listen, man, we know this thing is going to bounce back. And then it went down by about 70%, and we said, oh man, it's so low now. We can't sell now. No, we're only going to get a fraction of what we put in. We're just going to wait. Let's wait for it to go back, at least to 50-60%. And then we sell. And then we got a notice. Yeah. And the headlines read that this company that we had invested in, due to the bubble, due to the crash, that the company filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And because the company filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, that all the shareholders and stockholders and investors were certain to lose billions of dollars. And even though we didn't have billions invested, even though it felt like that to us, that my investment of $3,000 gave me a return of 0 cents. And I remember me and my roommate sitting there on that couch, faces all long, thinking about how we had lost more money than we had ever had. And if only we would have let go. And so, here's what I say to you. That sometimes there's a natural inclination that if you want to hold on to this toxic relationship because you're saying to yourself that no, it's going to bounce back. I can turn this situation around. I've invested too much time. I've been dealing with this person for a year, for 2 years, that it's only a matter of time. This person is going to make this commitment. This person is going to start treating me differently. No, I want to remind you that you've got to let go or be dragged, that maybe you're holding on and you're trying to resurrect the dead. There's somebody that you recruited into your business, that they were excited about the business. They were showing up to the meetings, that they were telling people about the business opportunity. They were doing the 3-way phone calls. They were doing everything that was expected of them, but now they're dodging your phone calls. Now they're not showing up to the meetings. Now they're not showing up to the trainings. Now they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And you're trying to resurrect the dead. Remember, let go or be dragged. Or maybe you know in your heart that you've been holding on to this old habit. You've been holding on to this excuse. You've been using this excuse in order to not pursue your goals and your dreams. You've been using this excuse in order to fall short of your dreams. You've been using this excuse in order for you to not fully show up. I want to remind you that you've got to let go or be dragged. Yeah. You got to let go or be dragged. 2013. This is your year. But in order for you to have the level of success that you want, in order for you to turn your financial situation around, in order for you to have happiness, in order for you to accomplish your goals and your dreams, in order for you to make this thing happen, that you've got to let go of those toxic relationships, that you've got to let go of those excuses, that you've got to let go of those past excuses, that you've got to let go of those habits that are no longer serving you. You've got to let go of that individual that's dragging you in the opposite direction of your goals, your dreams, and your happiness, that you've got to let go. Why? Because if you don't, you'll be dragged. This has been Andy Henriquez, and this wouldn't be me if I didn't end by telling you this. Remember to always show up for your life, because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, nobody else will. Stacey NC Grant?
Woo! I had to get the fire extinguisher over here. My. Let go or be dragged. What a message tonight. I know everyone that was listening to the sound of your voice, Andy, has truly taken the moments that they need to reevaluate who they need to let go. I just love the message. I love how you shared that sometimes that could be the one thing, Andy, that folks have to do in order to break through to the next best version of themselves. So I continue to salute you on the work that you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you that everybody you loved and cared about has been on this call tonight listening to these words. Please make sure that you go on to brown.les on Facebook. Post your comments about tonight's call. Let Les know that Andy brought it tonight and that you walked away with something that you can literally use, tangibly in your own world, because 2013, it's not a game. This is your year. This is your time. Andy, thank you so much. Can you tell everyone how they can stay connected with you just to follow the amazing work that you're doing?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, Stacey NC Grant, for being a wonderful host tonight. And once again, for those of you who joined the call a little late, Les is in Canada right now, touching and inspiring some lives, but he sends his love and wants to commend all of you for continuing to join the Monday Night Motivational Call. For those of you who haven't, make sure that you like Les Brown